All right, so let's go ahead and check out some goodies from Phone Rebel, man. And today we are checking out some of you guys' favorite case that Phone Rebel makes, and that's going to be the Flex series. Now, of course, this is going to be for all of my minimalist people out there who like that protection but still enjoys feeling those hips and the sides of your 17 Pro Max. And before we get started, a huge shout out to Phone Rebel for sending this out to your boy to check out. So let's go ahead and get into it, man. I've been running this thing for about a week, and I have to tell you right now, I might readjust my top 10 because I might find a space to slide this Phone Rebel Flex in there, because the Flex is one that always just does what it does. And the case might not appeal to everybody, but it's for the people who like this design case. So let's go ahead and check it out. Now, of course, it's going to give you that Phone Rebel Flex look on the back. When it comes to the Ergonomics fiber, you're going to get your metallic ring that goes around your camera plateau. Now, with this, they do say this is more durable CNC material. I didn't really see that. I got to read the details a little bit more when it comes to these websites. So I don't know if you've had trouble with this kind of wearing off or something like that over the past. That's nothing that I have personally experienced, but hey, they say it's more durable CNC material. So hey, I'm here to believe it, so it's more durable. Okay. Aramid fiber, when it comes to the back, when it comes to that weave, it does have a little bit of texture. Of course, you're going to get these little shiny areas. That's just basically the Phone Rebel look. You're going to get this little plate down here at the bottom that you guys already know. I feel like sometimes Phone Rebel just over engineering, and you let me know if you like that plate down there. A lot of you may like it. I just think it can go away. It's less branding, especially when you have Flex up here, Phone Rebel down. It's a lot of branding, all right? It's a little, it's a little excessive in my opinion, but that's there. You can swap it out for the ultra orange, silver, whatever the button kits that they have. You can swap that color out if that's your thing. Flipping over on the inside, you're gonna get that soft lining. You're gonna get the Phone Rebel Flex, naming in there. And also on the side, you're gonna get that shock absorption material. You see the two corners up top, two corners on the bottom, so that is there. And take a look at those cutouts. Those cutouts are nice and wide. I know we had an issue with the Phone Rebel Gen 6 when it comes to those buttons and different, not buttons, but those cutouts. Things just fit a little bit tight, but this is now kind of opened up a little bit to fit those bigger head cables in there. Pause if that's what you're using. Now let's go ahead and bring the scale over here, see what this bad boy has going on. Once again, man, super minimal case, and I just love the way this case always feels in hands. Dropping down on the scale, we're looking at 44 grams when it comes to the Phone Rebel Flex. Let's go ahead and grab that 17 Pro Max, slap it in here, and let's see what we... All right, that's pretty solid when it comes to that smack. Dropping that down with the combo on it, 17 Pro Max Phone Rebel Flex, 293 grams is that's your thing. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at it. Now, of course, this is going to be a case that's going to show off the color of that phone, especially when it comes to that open camera plateau. Pause. That doesn't have to be open. They now make a full coverage kit that goes around this area to basically make this a covered camera plateau. Now, I'll throw some B-roll up here. My Phone Rebel Gen 7, I have it installed, and I have mixed reviews about it. I like it. But I just wish the Gen 7 branding just wasn't so popped in your face and popped in your, it's just a little bit out there. But if I'm not mistaken, you can put this on the Phone Rebel Flex. And if you can't, I'll make a little disclaimer on the bottom. But if you can, I'll make sure to throw some B-roll up here so you can see it. I haven't tried it up here, but I'll try to screw it on, and I'm pretty sure you can use it when it comes to the Flex. If you can't, then I will give you the disclaimer down below. But that's your thing. If you want to be able to cover that up, we'll see if you're able to. But the thing that you get a Flex for is the open sides. That's what you get it for, to get that feeling in your hand of having that naked feel, yet still having that protection. Now, talking about protection, let's go ahead and go to lay on the table. Now, what I love about the Flex line is it has those 4 little feet on the top, on all 4 corners. So when you're talking about dropping it down, you hear that. That's not a thud of hitting the display. That's a thud of hitting the material of the case when it comes to these very nice TPU sides. That's going to be there, and you're going to feel it, and that's good protection when it comes to it. Now, am I saying this case as 20 feet of drop protection or anything crazy? Not necessarily, but I do have a little drop story, and I just knew my 17 Pro Max was a scratched up goner, but it actually wasn't. We'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, that's what it is when it comes to the protection on the front. Flipping it over on the back, like I stated, standard protection when it comes to that camera plateau, or you can screw in that lens cover kit to give it a little bit more cover, to give it a little bit more protection if that's your thing. Now, how does this case actually fit on the phone? And when it comes to the fit, I mean, it snaps on. That's going to be the top, bottom, not noticeably of a snap. But they are pop, they snap, they come around the corners, so it actually hugs this phone pretty good. I don't have any fit issues when it comes to this case. I mean, the fit is good. There's not anything moving or wiggling or anything like that when it comes to it. It doesn't move or have any wiggle or any play when the phone is actually inside the case. So of course that good. Real quick, we don't have to talk about buttons, but we can talk about the cutouts down here. And as you can see, the cutouts are just fine. And if that's something that you want to do when we're talking about, I was going to try to get my cable in here, but it's attached to something. But this cable will fit third-party cables, whether it's Anchor, whether, Phone Rebel also make their own cables, which I'm sure is going to be compatible with their cases, but that option is there with that nice cutout for your Type-C. Now, how does this case feel in the hand? And this is where I love the Phone Rebel Flex, because the feel in the hand is what really wins this case over for me, because I love the feel of a naked 17 Pro Max in my hand. That feels so good when we're talking about holding it, simply because of the smooth edges and just how it feels. The weight of it is just perfectly balanced in your hand when you're talking about putting it in your hand. But then you add these top areas, the corners, that's really going to add very nice protection to it to be able to give you those oops if it happens. All right. No, it's not going to give you foolproof 360-degree protection, but in the right drop, and of course, we have no control over how your phone drops, it'll mainly be protected, simply because even with that, you still have a little area right here that's kind of giving you protection. And this area, if it fell perfectly on the side, it's still going to be raised up to where it's not landing on that actual side. Now, real story time real quick. So of course, it's Christmas time. It's past Turkey Day. The turkey had its day, so now it's time to get these Christmas decorations out. I went out there in the shed to try to get them. Of course, they're going to be in large storage containers. And I had some smaller storage containers kind of stacked up about 6 feet high. Now my shed is pitch black on the edge of my property. No electricity, no lights up in there. So usually the phone light is my light source when we go up in there. So I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and pop this flashlight on, turn it upside down, sit it on the top of these storage bins, and it can bounce off the roof and I can see what's going on. So as I start trying to sort around the storage containers, something happened and it tipped this way a little bit to the right, which sent my 17 Pro Max about 6 feet in the air, dropping down. And when I say it dropped down in a corner of all of my solo stove accessories, there were a couple garden tools and rakes and all types of stuff in that corner. And I'm just like, oh, the one time I don't have a 360-degree protection case, I'm trying to keep my device in pristine condition, and these aluminum sides, man, just will scare you if it hits the right way. And I went down there, picked it up. The phone was kind of landed kind of on the sideways, a little tipped up, and surprise to me, there was not one scratch on this 17 Pro Max. So I don't know if that has to do with the actual case. I'm not sure if the aluminum is stronger than people think, but I was amazed. I was mind blown. So just wanted to share that quick story with you. So in the right drop scenario, I think it'll be fine, but just be aware that these sides are open. But the feeling hand feels so good because you can really get a grip on these sides. And I think that's the appeal when it comes to the Flex. Now, let's go ahead and talk about MagSafe, okay? Because we know Phone Rebel always have some legit MagSafe. And a little test that I've been finding is just getting my little MagSafe ring and just snapping it up there. And you can kind of get a gist of how that magnet is if it just goes up there. So that has a good little magnetic strength right there. Of course, we're still going to go with our OG test when we're talking about the actual base. And picking this up, it doesn't pick this up. All right, that's surprising. I would think it would kind of pick. It doesn't pick that bass up, which is a little bit surprising. Phone Rebel, I think my Gen 7 picks that bass up, but the Flex doesn't really pick it up. But is the magnetic strength still as good to do everything? And of course, I dropped my MagSafe wallet. All right, getting back up, man, let's go ahead and check out the MagSafe test when it comes to the wallet. So if a wallet is something that you want to use, as you can see here, it's up there pretty good. Even with that magnet not picking my bass up, which is not a terrible thing, okay? Let's not think that's just terrible when it comes to that. It still has a pretty, you can tell that magnet is not as strong as the rest. It's strong, but you can tell it's not as super strong. Of course, you can't tell, but I definitely can tell with putting on that magnet. And when we're talking about shake test, I mean, that's light, medium. As you can see, medium, the battery pack went flying off. So magnet, in my opinion, it's okay. Could be a little bit stronger, but that's going to be the Phone Rebel Flex, man. Once again, it feels good, all right? I love it because it gives you that Phone Rebel Flex look, aramid fiber customization, because you can switch out the lens cover here. You can do the full cover lens kit. You can swap that out if you want. It gives you that customization, but yet it gives you that minimal feel of holding it in your hands. So if you're a person who likes to feel your phone, but yet still wants that protection, I feel like this is a perfect middle ground when it comes to a case, simply because those sides and the protection that you get on the top and the bottom. Now, I know right now it's Black Friday-ish time. I'm not sure if they're running any Cyber Monday deals, but I know this case right now is $44.95. Of course, if there's any Black Friday deals out there to be had, the link is down below, the website down below. It's also an affiliate link, so you can go out there and check it out and get yourself a Phone Rebel Gen 7. I like it. Is there anything else that I will improve on it? I just wish this was just going to make this a little bit more clean, because we don't need redundant branding, especially when it's up here as well. It's just, sometimes I feel like the Rebel is Rebel Flex, and then if you get the lens cover, it says Gen 7. It's just a lot going on, and I feel like Phone Rebels sometimes can over-engineer, and you don't have to. More simple, just make things more simple when we're talking about designing this case. But over and all, it works very good. Don't have an issue with it. And links down below if you want to check it out. But if you also want to check out the Phone Rebel Gen 7, just that case, which is it's a pretty good case. I'm not even gonna lie, when it comes to the Gen 7, I'll be sure to leave that video review right here.